Wow!
Grilling in true Hadzabe tribe style, a journey into survival and tradition. Deep in the wilds of northern Tanzania lives the Hadzabe tribe, one of the last true hunter-gatherer communities on Earth. For centuries, they have lived almost unchanged by time, hunting with bows and arrows, gathering wild fruits and honey, and cooking meals in ways that connect them directly to the land. Today, we join the Hadzabe in one of their oldest traditions, grilling over fire, made without modern tools. There are no stoves, no pots, no seasonings. Instead, the tribe step deep into the heart of the wild and witness an incredible cultural moment. The Hadzabe tribe tries a protein shake for the very first time. This isn't just a taste test, it's a meeting of worlds, a moment where ancient traditions collide with modern life. From the very first sip, the Hadzabe people display genuine curiosity, surprise, and laughter, giving us a glimpse into their unfiltered, authentic reactions to something completely foreign in their everyday lives. Every expression tells a story, from cautious tasting to moments of sheer delight. Their faces reflect the pure, universal human experience of trying something new. Watch as their initial confusion slowly turns into joy, laughter, and even playful experimentation. This video captures a rare blend of humor, cultural insight, and human connection, showing how even a simple protein shake can become a bridge between worlds. The Hadzabe tribe is one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer communities living in harmony with nature and preserving ways of life that have existed for thousands of years. Seeing them interact with a modern manufactured drink provides a unique perspective on culture, curiosity, and adaptation. Their reactions are not only funny, they are enlightening, showing us how tradition and novelty can meet in the most heartwarming and genuine ways. Whether you're passionate about wildlife, fascinated by tribal culture, or simply love funny, unexpected reactions, this video has something for everyone. Laugh, smile, and be inspired by the way this incredible community engages with the modern world while staying rooted in their ancestral traditions. Every sip, every reaction, and every laugh is a reminder of the universal joy of discovery. This is more than entertainment. It's a celebration of human curiosity, culture, and connection. Don't miss a single moment of this unforgettable experience. Share it with friends and family, comment on your favorite reactions, and let yourself be amazed by the humor, warmth, and authenticity of the Hadzabe tribe.
The Hadzabe, or Hadza, people of Tanzania speak a unique and ancient language that includes clicking consonants, making it one of the most distinct and rare forms of spoken communication in the world. These clicking sounds are not just stylistic, they are actual phonemes, meaning they function like regular letters or syllables in their language. The Hadza language includes a range of click sounds, such as dental clicks, like tisk-tisk, lateral clicks, similar to the sound you make to urge a horse forward, alveolar clicks, sharp tongue pops made at the roof of the mouth. These clicks often appear within names, everyday speech, storytelling, and even during hunting, where communication must be silent yet clear. It's an intricate system that non-speakers find very hard to imitate, let alone understand. Speech balloon example. A Hadzabe person's name might contain a click sound that isn't written in English. It's a sound, not a letter. For example, Zany or Oma, note, the symbols like or represent different types of clicks. Globe showing Europe-Africa linguistic significance. The Hadza language is considered a linguistic isolate, meaning it's not closely related to any other known language family. It is spoken by fewer than 1,500 people, making it endangered but incredibly important in the study of human language origins. The use of clicks places the Hadza language among a very small group in Africa, including Khoisan languages found mostly in southern Africa. Brain cultural insight. To the Hadza, these names and sounds are not just labels, they carry identity, ancestral meaning, and sometimes environmental or spiritual connections. Learning to pronounce them properly is a sign of deep respect for their culture. White heavy checkmark summary. Hadzabe names with clicking sounds are a powerful reminder of human diversity. They reflect thousands of years of oral tradition, survival, and a way of living that remains deeply connected to nature and identity. Clicking sounds in Hadzabe names, a rare language tradition. Deep in the savannas and woodlands around Lake Eyasi in northern Tanzania, the Hadzabe, or Hadza, tribe lives as one of the last true hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. Their way of life has remained largely unchanged for thousands of years, and at the heart of their culture is a unique and ancient language, marked by something extraordinary: clicking sounds. These clicks aren't casual noises or expressions. They are real, meaningful components of the Hadza language, used not just in speech but within names themselves, making Hadzabe personal names some of the most unique and difficult to pronounce in the world for outsiders. Speaking head, what are clicking sounds? In phonetics, clicks are non-pulmonic consonants. That means they're not made by pushing air out of the lungs like most sounds, but by creating a vacuum in the mouth and releasing it. You may recognize some of them from casual sounds you make in daily life.
By dawn the river widened into a golden mist, and Myra's canoe drifted toward a shore alive with color and sound. Before her stretched a market unlike any she had ever seen, a market where memories and stories shimmered like silk. Stalls lined the winding paths, each one glowing with lanterns of every size and shape. Some lanterns hummed with ancient African proverbs. Some flickered with jazz notes and gospel hums from faraway American nights. All of them whispered softly as Mira passed, like wind through pages of 100 unwritten books. An old storyteller in a chitange robe called out, "Child, trade me a dream and I'll weave you a tale that can calm storms." A young woman with patchwork skirts and beaded braids held up carved gourds. "These hold laughter from villages across the desert. Mix it in your cooking and your food will sing." A man with a banjo and a basket of sweet cornbread offered. "Share a memory, little one, and I'll play you a tune that brings the moon closer." Mira wandered deeper, the lantern in her hands glowing brighter with every step. She passed tables of carved masks, each one whispering its origin. A griot's face from Mali. A jester from New Orleans Mardi Gras. A bird spirit from tales told under baobab trees. The air smelled of smoke, honey, hibiscus, and fresh bread. Children ran laughing between stalls, chasing glowing beads that hovered like fireflies. Drums throbbed from somewhere in the distance, answered by a humming choir of unseen voices. Mira paused at a stall where an elder wove cloth that shimmered like water. "Your lantern," the elder said, "carries many fires. But it is not yet complete." "How do I complete it?" Mira asked softly. "By sharing," the elder said, hands never stopping their weaving. "Take what you've gathered, our stories, our songs, our foods, and carry them home. When you light them again, when you tell them in your own voice, the lantern will bloom into a star." Mira felt tears prick her eyes. She thought of Willowmere, of her grandmother's hands, of the dream walkers by the twin fires. She thought of the drums, the cornbread, the baobab canoe, the blues, and the kora strings woven into one melody. She held the lantern high. It flared so brightly that the whole market seemed to pause, bathed in gold. And then, softly, the lantern spoke, not in words, but in a warm wave of understanding. Your journey is the bridge. Your story is the light. Carry us. Mira took a deep breath and stepped back toward the canoe, her heart full of voices and visions, ready to bring them home and light new fires. Long, slow memory of people who walked, built, cooked, gathered, and listened to the world before the world became so noisy. History, for a long time, was told from the top down. Kings, generals, conquerors. Maps redrawn. Empires made and unmade. Battles with dates. Treaties with clauses. Crowns and swords. But that's not the only way time passed. People are hungry now for something else. A history that lives lower to the ground. Closer to the soil. Not the story of who ruled, but how people lived. What they ate. Where they slept. How they raised children. How they waited out the rain. How they gathered roots when no fruit would grow. How they healed. How they carried grief, and how they passed joy along in stories around the fire. Let's begin where history is often quietest. With the indigenous peoples whose voices were left out of the official records. Not because they didn't have stories, but because they didn't write them down in books or carve them in stone for kings. They stored them in the rhythm of seasons. In the smell of wild honey. In the position of stars. In the ways you speak to elders, or don't speak at all. The Hadzabe of East Africa, for example, have lived much the same way for thousands of years. Their days begin when the birds begin, and they don't count time in hours. They hunt not with guns, but with bows made. The night fire was born, shaped, and an extended sleeping story for dreamers, wanderers, and flame keepers. Before time wore numbers. Before the sky had names. Before hearts beat to the rhythm of clocks and calendars. there was only the wild. It was not quiet, but it was still. It was not tame, but it was whole. The world was wrapped in green and gold, in soil and silence, in stars and scent. It stretched endlessly in every direction, with no borders, no signs, no fences, just freedom. Animals ruled the plains, the forests, and the mountains. Their paws marked the trails. Their eyes shaped the night. The rivers ran clean and fast, the wind whispered through untouched trees, and the sun. The sun came and went like a great, breathing drumbeat across the sky. And in that world, new and blinking, came us. Humans. Not yet mighty. Not yet builders or bakers or dreamers of cities. Just curious. Just walking. Just listening. They moved barefoot across the earth, feeling every grain of sand, every blade of grass, every stone. Their hands were tools. Their ears were maps. Their eyes were stories in the making. And at the end of each day, when the sun dipped below the hills and the great curtain of night unfolded, they stopped. They gathered. And they waited. The darkness came quickly in those ancient days. A thick, velvet hush that wrapped around their small, tired bodies. The temperature dropped, the ground grew cold. Their voices fell quiet. They held each other close, not out of love alone, but out of need. They had no houses. No fire. No way to hold back the dark. The night belonged to the beasts. To the shadows. To the unknown. And every night, as they stared into the deep sky above, they must have wondered. Will we see the light again? But then, something changed. Something small. Something eternal. It happened somewhere near the cradle of the world. What we now call Africa. Where the soil is red and rich, and the stars stretch wide above the plains. There, one night, beneath the pale watch of the moon, a hand reached for a stone. Maybe it was boredom. Maybe it was accident. Or maybe, just maybe, it was destiny knocking softly. The stone struck another. Once. Then again. And again. A spark. Tiny. Bright. Gone in a breath. But not gone for good. It kissed a curl of dry grass. And in the stillness, a flicker rose. A flame, small, orange, almost shy. It danced like a newborn spirit, uncertain of the world. The people stared. First in silence. Then in awe. Then, in reverence. The fire whispered warmth against their skin. It lit up their faces, turned their shadows into dancers. It chased the cold from their bones, the fear from their eyes. And the beasts. The beasts in the dark took a step back. Then another. Then vanished into the trees. For the first time, humans were not prey. They were not just surviving. They were becoming. The fire did not roar. It crackled. It did not command. It invited. And around it, everything changed. The forest awakens with sound, birds calling, leaves whispering in the wind. A small group of Hadzabe men and women walk gracefully through the lush green, their eyes scanning the trees for treasures. In their hands, baskets slowly fill with vibrant fruits glowing under the dappled sunlight. Imagine a taste untouched by time, ingredients plucked straight from nature's pantry, guided by knowledge passed down for thousands of years. The Hadzabe, one of the last true hunter-gatherer tribes on earth, live in harmony with the land in ways most of us can only imagine. Every fruit they pick, every hive they climb, tells the story of survival and tradition woven into their daily lives. To witness their food culture is to glimpse a way of life that has nearly disappeared from the modern world. Now, step closer. The camera lingers on glistening wild honey dripping from combs, crimson forest berries shining like jewels, and roots freshly pulled from the earth. These are not ordinary ingredients, they are gifts of the wild, carefully gathered and celebrated. What follows is a culinary ritual rarely seen by outsiders, a Hadzabe recipe blending forest fruits with raw honey, simple yet profound, ancient yet alive. This is not just food, it is memory, connection, and survival preserved in taste. Prepare to witness an intimate moment with the Hadzabe tribe, a feast that carries the flavor of history itself, wide-shot, lush African forest. Sunlight cuts through the canopy. The Hadzabe walk barefoot, their movements calm but purposeful. Opening the unseen world. Imagine a taste untouched by time. Ingredients plucked straight from nature's pantry. Contextualization. Close-up. Hands reaching for bright berries, children carrying woven baskets. The Hadzabe are one of the last true hunter-gatherer tribes on Earth. Their way of life, nearly unchanged for thousands of years, offers us a rare glimpse into humanity's ancient bond with nature. Building anticipation. Camera pans across a beehive in the crook of a tree. Honey drips like liquid gold. A Hadza climbs swiftly, retrieving the hive with ease. Here, food is more than survival, it is tradition. Every hunt, every harvest, every drop of honey connects them to ancestors who walked this same land. Ingredients teaser. Slow motion shots, wild honey glistening, crimson berries tumbling into a basket, roots brushed clean against stone. Glistening wild honey, exotic berries, and fruits of the forest, simple, pure, untouched. Together, they form the foundation of a recipe as rare as the tribe who keeps it alive. The dish reveal. The Hadza gather, mixing honey with fruits. Children laugh, elders taste, sharing is central. This is not a recipe you'll find in cookbooks or kitchens. This is living heritage, a culinary tradition passed from generation to generation, kept alive through the rhythms of the forest. 210, closing reflection. Final.
Hadzabe music, the ancient soundtrack of survival, spirit, and community. The Hadzabe people of northern Tanzania are one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer tribes in the world. Living near Lake Eyasi, they maintain a way of life that has remained largely unchanged for thousands of years. Central to their cultural identity and community life is music, a powerful, expressive tradition that brings the tribe together and connects them with nature, their ancestors, and each other. The role of music in Hadzabe life. For the Hadzabe, music is not a separate art form, it's woven into daily life. Unlike modern societies where music may be confined to concerts, recordings, or entertainment venues, Hadzabe music is functional, spiritual, and communal. It is not performed in the conventional sense, it is experienced and lived, often spontaneously. Music is used for celebration, after a successful hunt or community gathering. Storytelling. Passing down tribal stories, myths, and history through song. Rituals and ceremonies, including rites of passage, healing dances, initiation, and weddings. Bonding and play, around the campfire in the evening, singing, clapping, and dancing. Spiritual connection, songs are often directed toward spirits of the forest, ancestors, or used in rainmaking rituals. Instruments, rhythm from the earth. Most Hadzabe music is vocal and percussive, made using the body and natural instruments. Instruments are few but deeply symbolic and effective. Drums, often crafted from hollowed logs and animal skins. Used for rhythm in group dances and ceremonies. Gourds and shakers, filled with seeds or pebbles to create percussive textures. Hand clapping and body stomping, a fundamental part of rhythm making, often performed by everyone present. Wooden flutes and bows, rare but used occasionally for melodic lines, sometimes mimicking bird calls or forest sounds. Despite the simplicity of tools, the music is rich, layered, and emotionally resonant, creating an immersive experience that resonates through the open bush. Music is oral tradition and education. In the absence of written language or recorded archives, music is the Hadzabe's living memory. Songs serve as oral textbooks, teaching how to track animals, what plants are edible or medicinal, tribal history and legends, behavioral codes and social expectations. Children learn by watching and participating, absorbing rhythm, language, and cultural meaning from a young age. This ensures that traditional knowledge is passed from one generation to the next in an engaging and unforgettable way. Dance, the movement of spirit and joy. Hadzabe music is almost always accompanied by dance. It is not choreographed but rather intuitive, flowing with the rhythm of the drums and the song. Dance reinforces unity. Everyone joins in, elders, women, children. Energy release. After a long hunt or ceremony. Spiritual engagement, used in trance or healing rituals. The atmosphere during.